Hey folks, Warren Sheppel, president of the Florida Real Estate Investor Association, bringing you this week's edition of the Fan, the FLREIA Action News. And what are the headlines for the week? Well, let's take a look. Short sales humming in Florida. IRAs to the rescue. Foreclosure deal on the horizon. Bank, another four-letter word. Rent, our way to recovery. And Bill Gates, a renter. And the Miami Dolphins. All right, well, those are the headlines. Let's see what they have to say about them today. All right, dsnews.com is reporting that short sales are a-humming in Florida. That's right. Bank of America has just launched a short sale pilot program in Florida, offering extra incentive payouts to distressed homeowners who agree to successfully close on a short sale. All right, now we've seen this happen personally on some deals that we were working on. So they're offering about $5,000 to $20,000 for relocation assistance for homeowners that are willing to work on doing the short sale. So once they get a successful short sale, buyer buys the property, then they'll get some money to move. It's on a limited basis for investor-approved pre-offer short sales. All right, so hey, you investors, did you hear that? These are investor-approved. So that means if you are putting a deal together and you've got your proof of funds and everything you need is in place, then go after these deals and you're going to see your homeowners willing to move, and they're going to get some cash for going. So great deal. So why are they doing this in Florida? Well, the Bank of America spokesperson explained that Florida is experiencing higher foreclosure rates than other parts of the country. Duh. Right? So it would make it a viable market to gauge incremental short sale response and completion rates when presenting homeowners with relocation assistance at closing. So it appears that the banks are getting it. You know, remember when Nick came by, he says, "Are you getting it?" I think they got it. Well, not yet. So short sales looks like the way to go. I mean, a vacant REO sits on the market for a while. I mean, over a year. Okay, and that's not including already the 2 years they probably took for them to get possession of the property and through the whole foreclosure process. So, you know, while it's sitting there vacant, it's getting damaged, it's getting vandalized, and then the banks are having to deal with the local municipalities and their code enforcement rules. So, with the short sale, it's a lot cleaner, you know. Yeah, a couple properties might deal with some of these issues, but for the majority, homeowners that might still be in there, they're going to pass the keys on to the new owner, the new buyer. So all this helps the banks get out of these deals quicker and gets our market moving and processing a lot quicker. Yeah, they've got to do a deal, obviously, but that's just the nature of the beast right now. So, but now, Bank of America isn't the only the only lender with this program. JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citi are offering similar incentives. I heard of Chase giving as much as $45,000 to move here locally. So, go figure. Hey, whatever these banks are wanting to do, they're trying to figure something out. This might be the way. All right, IRAs to the rescue. You know, we've talked about investing with your IRAs to real estate. Well, a couple of Georgia congressmen are coming up with a bill. They are proposing this bill they believe will help some homeowners keep up with their mortgage payments and avoid foreclosure. It's called the Hardship Outlays to Protect Mortgage Equity, vis-a-vis the Home Act. All right. Now, it's intended to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to provide penalty-free distribution from certain retirement plans for mortgage payments with respect to a principal residence, and to modify the rules governing hardship distributions according to the bill. Okay, so in short, hey, listen, you stocked away some money. You need to prevent yourself from going into foreclosure or even falling behind. You'll be able to access your funds, and you can get up to draw up to $50,000 or half of your 401k. All right, I think whichever is smaller. Okay, they don't want you to deplete your retirement funds and all that good stuff. However, deferred income tax will not be waived for these withdrawals under the proposed bill, and the funds must be used within 120 days. All right. Now, the congressmen both believe that this will help strengthen the housing market, as this will prevent any further properties from going into foreclosure. And again, those are the folks that have IRAs, that have put socked money away. So, pretty good deal. We'll see if it gets passed. So it's up for whatever they do down there. Anyway, all right, let's go. Fox Business here. Foreclosure deal on the horizon. Now, we've been talking to you about the banks and the 50 state attorneys general trying to work out a deal. Now, we know New York and California pulled out, so it's down to 48, trying to put this deal together. It appears that the bank officials worked through the weekend, and they were communicating with the state, with the Justice Department and the state attorneys generals to try to wrap up this potential $20 billion deal. But, again, it's around 20. They haven't come up with a figure yet. They're trying to get this done as early as this week or even next week. And, again, settling over the improper mortgage practices and robo-signing. JP Morgan Chase, Ally Financial, and Wells Fargo were also involved in the talks, so it wasn't just Bank of America and CEO and Citi. These guys were involved as well. Now, there are a couple of sticking points that could hang up the deal. One being the legal exposure banks would still face in exchange for agreeing to revamp their mortgage servicing practices and paying the billions of dollars in settlement. And also, talks are with states who are balking at it, New York and California, due to the misgivings over whether the bank's conduct has been adequately probed. They want to make sure, hey, did you guys really not do more, or were you not aware, or were you just ignorant? They don't believe so. They want to go after some more. They want more blood. All right. But now the bank sources are saying that the administration at the same time is pressing ahead on sweeping new guidelines for mortgage lenders nationwide. All right. Now, we know we just got rid of the state mandate. Now it has to be, all mortgage brokers have to go through the national level, which wiped out a bunch of people, as we well know right now. So now this could be this would be part of the deal, possibly one of the biggest overhauls of the industry since the tobacco settlement in 1998. All right, so now what's going to happen with this settlement money, the $20 billion? Well, it's going to go into a fund similar to that of the BP oil spill. Now, how much is each bank going to have to pony up? It's not one of those things like, hey, you were the worst one, you did the more damage, so you're going to have to pay more. It's whatever deal these guys work out, a whole political move. So we'll see if it even adds up to $20 billion after it's all said and done. So let's behold. So once the funds are in this fund, then the loan bonds will be given according to government guidelines, and everybody should be happy. So we'll see how that works out. All right. From the Daily Business Review, here's an interesting article I came across about the banks and with the troubles that they're going for. I call this the bank, another four-letter word. Yep. This is according to John Canis. He's the chairman and CEO of Bank United in Miami Lakes. He says right now, bank is a four-letter word. Nobody wants to own one. Local and large national banks have taken a hit. They're seeing all their stock prices just plummet. Bank United dropped 26%. Bank Atlantic in Fort Lauderdale down 62%. Optimum Bank Holdings of Plantation down 85%. Now, on a national level, Wells Fargo, 17% hit. JP Morgan Chase, 25%. And Bank of America, 55% hit in their stocks. So it's just killing them. Some of these guys are trying to put deals together where they do some stock swaps. Well, now their stocks are less value, so they're having a tough time. He says that the Dodd-Frank Act is weighing on the stock prices of Bank United and other bank holding companies. He says, generally speaking, the cost of regulatory compliance is so onerous, it's eating into the bank profitability at a rate that's frightening. If the White House goes Republican in 2012, which I believe he hopes, and Congress as well, there will be a major movement to roll back some of Dodd-Frank, end quote. So, something that these guys are dealing with. Now, just to give you an example of something I came across here, a Miami-based bank that planned on a $300 million IPO. Okay, they went out for a public offering and said, hey, listen, we want to raise $300 million and to build up our bank. Well, they've had to go back to the SEC and file several times because they've had to drop it. Not getting the money. They're down to $27.5 million trying to raise now. So that's a big drop. Couple $100 million there. All right, yeah, investors are avoiding the banks. Why? Because they're worried about the risk of sovereign debt default in Europe and the extended declines in U.S. housing prices. So all this stuff is weighing on investors, staying away from the banks. All right, now here's another great article I came across here from the Daily Business Review. Renting Our Way to Recovery. All right, this is from Peter Orszag. He's the writer of the article, and he proposes that the U.S. can rent its way to a housing recovery. Okay? Makes sense, and I believe this is true. Normally we have a vacancy rate of 1.5% nationally, okay? Just normal. And currently we're at 2.5%. We were at a high of 2.9, we're down to 2.5%. All right, that 1 point doesn't sound like much, but that 1 point represents over 1 million vacant properties on the market. So add that to the 1.5% that's already out there on a normal level. So you can see how this is hurting the housing crisis. So anyway, what he proposes here is that we need to clear the way for the investors to do what they do best: invest. Provide an immediate tax write-off to investors to buy these vacant homes and rent them out. Currently, people who purchase residential real estate can depreciate the value of the property for tax purposes over 27 and a half years. But to encourage other forms of investment, policymakers have always allowed these other businesses to write off the full cost of their investments. But real estate has never been given that privilege. So he's saying, hey, let's look at it this way and give it to the investors. All right. I think it'd be a great idea. Some of these investors want to come in, hey, get the total write-off right now instead of waiting over 27 and a half years. Because some of them might not own it that long. So not a bad idea. Now, he does come up with the idea as hey, to avoid abuses, the allowance would only be good on houses that have been vacant for about 6 months or so. And you couldn't flip the property. You have to hold it for at least 6 months. All right, so that's part of the provisions that he's stating. Now, the policy should only be kept for as long as the numbers are abnormal. So when they get back to normality, the 1.5%, then the policy can end. All right, so not a bad idea. All right, now here's an interesting article here from the Palm Beach Post. Bill Gates renting. How about that? Here's a guy that has all the money in the world and he's renting? Yeah, that's right. Him and his family are going to be renting a home here in Wellington. That's right. It's a 7,300 square foot, 8-bedroom house in Wellington from December to May. For guess what? Only $600,000. Yeah, how about that? So they'll be hanging out here for the polo season and enjoying some of the horses, and who knows what else they're going to do. But have a good time, Mr. Gates. We hope you enjoy the lovely weather here in South Florida. All right, and let's go on here to the Miami Dolphins update. You can't screw up a bye week, can you, huh? Or can you? No. No losses to report this week, so that's not bad. Getting ready for the Jets. Jake Long here reportedly saying, hey, I'm feeling better now. I'm ready. I'm getting into the swing of things. All right, 5 games into the season. It's about time you get into the swing of things. Yeah, I know. He was out most of the offseason, and he's just not getting into it. So let's see if you guys can pull it together. All right, and let's get a win here, especially on the 23rd when the Dolphin Club comes down to watch. All right, what's going on at the FLREIA? Real Estate Opportunities webinar every Tuesday at 12:45. Don't miss those with Sharon. Great properties are being put out there. So, hey, and now with the potential of being able to write these things off sooner, you want to buy. All right, Elite Breakfast is Monday morning on the 17th, and we're hoping to get solidify our speaker. So, haven't got her yet, but from the Business Development Board, sharing with us on what they're doing to get more jobs into our local economy, which is vital for us as investors, because we don't look for location. We look for jobs. That's what brings us money as investors. And then REIFax training, great software here by the folks at Zima. They've revamped their name, REIFax now. Great program. You want to take advantage of that. It's a free training on Tuesday the 18th at the Crescent Center with Sharon and the agents. Definitely come out for that. And then God's Property is on Thursday the 20th. Be sure to register for that free webinar. And then that evening is our business meeting with our success panel. And looking forward to hearing some of the stories from our investors, local investors here who have had challenges, have overcome them, and are now enjoying the fruits of their labor and overcoming what they've had to deal with. And then, like I said, the 23rd will be down at South Florida, down in Miami, for the Dolphin game. So if you want to join us, we're trying to put a little group together to enjoy the game. Everything $99, cover your ticket and the tailgate. All right. And then our Elite Power Trip, a very neat power trip. We are going to St. Cloud. That's right. That's of the Kissimmee St. Cloud area right by Orlando. Going to do some zip lining. So it's an interesting zip line. So it's not one of your normal ones that you've seen or maybe have been on. This is a different one. So look forward to having you come out and join us on this Elite Power Trip. All right, that is the news. That is the news for this week. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Don't forget to follow us on our social media at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.com, all /FLREIA. And we look forward to seeing you at any one of our upcoming events. This is Juan Restrepo signing off. God bless.
The kingdom of God is within. me some joy, joy.